What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my In the Vault series, a series where I take a look at sneakers that I've always either wanted to add to my collection or sneakers that I have in my collection that I just have not had a chance to actually share with you guys since I started this YouTube channel. This particular pair right here, the Off-White Converse, is one of my favorites that I've been keeping an eye on for years. Before we talk specifically about this pair, let's go into the details about what this whole collaboration is about, as well as the packaging. If you guys did not know, this collaboration is a collaboration between the legendary Virgil Abloh, rest in peace, Off-White, and Converse. Now, of course, for those of you that know, you know that Converse for quite some time now is owned by Nike. When they did this collaboration, it was part of what was called the 10. And it was 10 different silhouettes. I believe this was the only non-Nike silhouette that was part of this collection. It's basically Virgil's, my guess is his favorite 10 pairs, favorite 10 silhouettes with a little bit of a twist on. Let's take a look at the boxing. If you guys have an Off-White, you know what this looks like. The whole point is everything is supposed to be basically inside out reconstructed. The inside of the box is basically the outside of the box. And then the outside of the box, yes, is the inside of the box. It comes with, excuse the noise, the classic, of course, Nike, Converse, and Off-White branding. And then on the inside here, we just have a sole print of the actual sneaker. And like any Off-White pair, of course, you got to have the verbiage. So there you have it right there. It is Off-White Nike Converse shoebox, Beaverton, Oregon, USA. Copyright 2017, though technically this sneaker did not actually release until 2018. I believe all 9 other pairs released in 2017, and there must have been either some issue with this particular shoe. It dropped in 2018 as far as I know, as far as my research goes. And again, all this says is Converse, Chuck 70 high, clear, white. So now, enough about all of this. Let's talk about the shoe. So for those of you guys who follow my channel regularly, you know that the majority of my collection is made up of Nike, Vans, and then there's always a couple different pairs. Maybe I've got like some New Balance, I've got some Pumas, hardly any Adidas, hardly any Reeboks. It's just a thing I've had since the 90s. I do only have 2 pairs of Converse. So this now is the 3rd that I've added to the collection. For any of you guys that know about Converse, they run abnormally massive. Certain colorways, in my opinion, for whatever reason, because they're such a giant shoe, can kind of look like clown shoes. Now, I don't necessarily think this pair is, but I did get a size 11.5, and technically I should be getting a 10.5 or an 11 in Converse. The 2 reasons why I did actually go for an 11.5 though, number 1, because I don't actually have any high tops, and I've got a really wide calf, ankle area, cankles, yes. I thought, let's just be safe and make sure it actually fits. Secondly, because this sneaker, again, super limited. The large majority of these pairs are going to be used pairs, and they're just going to be trashed. Absolutely trashed. This is probably the best looking pair that I've seen that's gently used from, again, 2018. That is still in pretty dang good condition. A lot of these Off-White sneakers from the 10 collection unfortunately got hit with that whole yellowing aesthetic. I'm sure it has something to do with just the color and the material choices that they used, but this pair, while I do start to see a little bit of color change, I don't see any necessarily yellow on the pair. Do you guys see any? Is the camera picking up any? For what I paid, for what these generally cost, I'm pretty happy with this. Now, it did take me quite some time to actually get these in hand. Again, it's 2026. These are almost a 10-year-old pair, but it's one of the more limited of the pairs that they did. The other one is also getting a re-release, but without the Off-White branding, I believe. And that is the Air Jordan 1 High Alaska, and that's just going to be a Virgil and Nike retro. It's going to be, of course, super limited. It's going to cost a ton of money, but that is, of all 10 pairs, the one pair that I wanted the most. So we'll see if I end up getting that pair.
Good luck.
So first things first, let's just kind of go around the sneaker and talk about what we see here. Again, like any off-white pair, like I said, you have all the verbiage right there. And this bad boy says off-white for Converse, Chuck Taylor All-Star, Malden, Massachusetts, USA, 1917. So quite some time ago. To the back here, we've got the classic upside down logo there for Converse. You guys can read it that way if you want. We've got the semi-translucent, what originally was icy blue sole. Now I would say it's got definitely still that icy blue touch, but just a tad bit of discoloration on it.
Just a bit outside.
Moving along to the other side of the sneaker, you see that vulcanized right there, which I didn't know what that meant until I looked it up. Again, not being a big Converse guy, this is actually the rubberine, I believe, or the materials that they use when they make Chuck Taylors, when they make these pairs of sneakers. So that is why that is right there. Again, we've got anyone that knows Off-White, you know that you got to get these hang tags, which I don't even know if these are necessarily super popular anymore. I remember people used to wear these with their Off-White pairs as like a little trophy piece, I guess you could say. And then one of the cooler things is, again, you've got the logo right here, and it's semi-translucent, and it's got, of course, that little Off-White branding with the orange tag on it. The tongue itself, same thing. This is the semi-translucent sneaker. This is like a ripstop material right here. And unlike a true see-through sneaker, you can still technically have a little bit of shade. It's almost like a shower curtain is the way that I would put it. This is definitely a pair where you're going to need socks that match, or at least that you think are going to look cool, that don't take away from this. I'm cool with that. I've had pairs of sneakers like that before. I'm not the type to wear them barefoot. I think, first of all, that's gross, and secondly, it's just not going to look good at all. I'll probably get some really thin type of sock that looks good, potentially white, black. Moving along to the laces. Love those green lace tips right there. Again, just like any Off-White pair, you've got shoelaces actually imprinted. Then it also came with, these are pretty cool. And one of the things that kind of messed me up, because I'm kind of OCD about certain things, and it's funny, is each sneaker on the toe says left and right, except this is the left shoe, and this is the right shoe. Oh. Anyways, it's just a fun little piece that they did. The insoles on these is nothing crazy. Again, we've just got the 10 branding, the Off-White branding right there. But I have heard that the actual insoles on these is definitely a little bit more comfortable than what traditionally you would get from a Converse. I am looking forward to that because I'm absolutely going to wear these. These are not a pair that I'm just going to keep and then let yellow and then end up getting rid of for like $200. So the biggest question moving forward is, are these going to fit me good, and are these going to be comfortable? Well, there you have it. Thank you again, everybody who tunes in, who watches my videos, who shares my videos. The growth of my channel has been exponential the last 12 months. I really do appreciate all of you guys who are coming and watching the videos. It just helps build the channel, and I truly, truly appreciate you. So, is this a cop or is this a drop? Let's talk about it in the comments. Peace and love.